my name is David Klebanov and I lead product marketing for Alkira. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how you can build your Google Cloud and multi-cloud network in under 7 minutes. Building networks for the cloud era using traditional methods is a daunting task. The lack of a uniform approach forces organizations to rely on a set of disjoint solutions for on-premises, cloud, and multi-cloud connectivity. Such solutions oftentimes carry a burden of costly hardware investments, coupled with complex software configurations and a need for acquiring deep cloud and networking expertise. All of this is resulting in a slow service provisioning. Simply put, the traditional network is not sufficiently agile for the cloud. Enter Alkira Network Cloud, powered by the Alkira Cloud Services Exchange. In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to demonstrate how you can achieve an unprecedented agility in building a secure and segmented network for your GCP, multi-cloud, and on-premises environments with elements of integrated auto-scaling firewalls and regional internet exit points for optimal SaaS applications access. If that sounds interesting, let's see how it's done. First thing we need to do is log into the Alkira portal. Once logged in, we are presented with a map of the world where we can select the locations for our global network. In this case, we're going to select US East and US West regions. We are taken into the design canvas. Let's now add a new segment. The system already has one segment, we're just going to add another one. We're going to call this segment Operations, and we're going to assign an IP address block for internal purposes. Let's save the changes. In Alkira solution, the segments are end-to-end. The operations segment that we have just created automatically spans both locations. Let's now start adding cloud workloads. Let's add Gcp Vpcs. We need to provide the account credentials and let the system discover the VPCs in that account. Let's select one of those Gcp VPCs and decide which one of the GCP regions that VPC is going to be onboarded at. Now we need to provide several key pieces of information, such as the sizing of network capacity for that GCP VPC, the target segment, the group for policy applications, and an optional billing tag for chargeback. Let's save. Let's now add another GCP VPC in a different region. Once again, let's provide the account and let the system discover the GCP VPCs in that account. Let's select the VPC. Let's again assign the GCP region that VPC is going to be reachable through. And again, several key pieces of information, such as the network capacity, the segment, the group for purposes of policy application, and the billing tag. The two GCP VPCs that we have added are the inventory application workloads residing in GCP. Let's now add an AWS workload. That is going to be our inventory application database. We need to provide the account details and let the system discover the AWS VPCs. Let's select the VPC of choice and provide several key pieces of information: the network capacity, the segment, the group, and as you can see, inventory database, and the billing tag. Let's save. Now we have both GCP VPCs and AWS VPC. Let's now add internet in case one of the GCP VPCs needs access to internet. So we're going to provide an internet connector name and the segment where that connector is residing, in this case operations, an optional billing tag. Let's save. Now we have connectivity between GCP workloads, GCP and AWS workloads, and the access to internet. But what about security? Let's add Palo Alto Networks firewalls. The firewalls are going to be managed by Palo Alto Networks Panorama tool. We need to provide key pieces of information for panorama management. For licensing, we're going to use pay-as-you-go. We will specify the firewall type, the software version, the administrative account for managing the firewalls, and the auto-scaling capacity of the firewalls to accommodate real-time capacity demand. We're going to set the minimum amount of firewalls to 2, the maximum amount of firewalls to 4, which means the Alkira system is allowed to burst the firewall capacity up to 4 Palo Alto Networks firewalls to accommodate a real-time capacity demand. Let's select which segments are going to be extended to the firewalls, in this case an operations segment, and what is going to be the sizing capacity of the firewall, as well as the billing tag. Let's save the setting. As you can see, the Palo Alto Networks firewall has been added. But how are we going to steer the traffic to the firewall? For that, we need to define an Alkira intent-based policies. Let's add a new traffic policy. And we will start with a policy that is going to send the traffic to the firewall, the inter-region traffic. We're going to select the segment that the policy operates at and select the 2 Gcp VPCs that we have added, one for each of the regions. The traffic is going to be sent to the Palo Alto firewall. We're going to save the policy. It was that easy. Let's now add another policy. In this case, we're interested in a multi-cloud policy for communication between the GCP VPC and the AWS VPC. We will select the segment and to and from for this communication. In this case, we've selected a group of the source workloads, which are both GCP VPCs in US East and US West region. Lastly, let's add an internet policy. This policy is going to secure the internet communication from the GCP VPC into the internet and SaaS applications. We're selecting the GCP VPC and the destination is internet. That traffic is going to be sent to the Palo Alto firewall, but if that traffic is non-business critical, it's going to be blocked by the system without even sending it to the firewall. The cloud setup is done. Let's now go ahead and add an on-premises site. We're going to use IPsec as the means to connect to this on-premises site. This site is going to have 2 routers. The first router, we're going to call it router 1 and specify the public IP address on the internet circuit connected to that router. Then we're going to add router 2 and specify the public IP address of an internet circuit connected to that router. We're going to be using BGP for dynamically exchanging routes, so we need to allocate a BGP autonomous system number and add pieces of information such as the bandwidth capacity, the target segments, and the group for application purposes of the policy. We are done.